All right, and here we are back and live again into our round around the cross of the wheel, and we ended up at the riding across of the Maya on the 3-5 and the 3-6. So the third line, lack of continuity, Maya everywhere. Indecision and persistent re-evaluation that only because of its basic intelligence manages to endure, only because of its basic intelligence over-reliance and traditionally legitimate standards of time of change can be totally out of step and suffer unexpected humiliation. A lack of instinct in times of transformation. Indecision, lack of instinct, there's something wrong here. You don't want to hire this person as your financial manager. The not self version of this has no idea what the hell's going on, truly. Where you really notice that is that they even through this gate supposedly is part of the channel of transformation. As a gate, it doesn't know that. It doesn't know what it means that the 2032 can handle transformation. And this is one of those cases where the third line can be very, very indecisive. And if you're looking at the third line principle, you can see that the trial and error that brings continued failure can lead to a sense of not knowing what to do, feeling that no matter what to do, it's not going to work out. The most difficult thing for these people is that you pick somebody out from the shop room floor only to discover 18 months later that they're your boss. And you can't handle it. You can't handle it at all. These are the ones who are going to meet exactly that person that you're going to have to be responsible for, and you've trained somebody who's going to cut you down. It's the way the tribe works. Whoever can serve the tribe best will climb on the top. The third line has trouble there. The 3-5 obviously get into the great deal of difficulty. I do what you do to understand that the third line in here and the sixth line here bring the reality of the 30-second gate. It's a gate that can be deeply depressive and suicidal. It can be enormous unhappy. Failure is something that it cannot tolerate. It's why the third line is so helpless here. Whether you're a 3-5 or a 3-6, this is really a very, very difficult place to be. It's a place that fears failure. When I'm meeting somebody that's a 32-3, I say that failure is okay. Yeah, it sounds nice to say, but it's the gate is terrified of failure. It's a kind of death. You don't want to fail. So this third line, whether it's a 3-5 or the 3-6, despite the fact that the 3-6 is in this quarter is very difficult. What you see in this, that you see people who feel again like the shoes. You see somebody and you think that you can transform with them only to discover that in the transformation they overwhelm you, that you can't handle them at all, or that in fact they're going to create difficulties for you, and that you're helpless and there's nothing you can do about it. I'll be in a gate where the fear of failure is so powerful that both the sixth line and the third line, when we get to the sixth line, you'll see that in the third line phase, you probably have more suicides from this line. This activation than anything else. It can be very, very distressing to have a third line themes in this gate because of its connection to failure and because the third line process so that it looks like failure. Now, obviously, if you're awake, if you're operating correctly, if you really get deep enough in all of this, even with your son here, you could manage. You could manage by simply accepting helplessness, that you're helpless. It's okay. But for the not self, no, this is very, very difficult because it seems like betrayal. There's a bargain inherent in everything the tribe does. If you pull up, you always will reward me from them on. You remember me. You remember I made it happier for you. And of course, when that's not there, it's failure from the 30-second gate. Then we go to the 4-6. Well, that's what we're going to do next time. Okay? Take it easy.